Welcome. There's something happening in the cosmos that's affecting us in ways we might not fully grasp yet, but it's already unfolding around us. Solar flares are becoming more active, way more active. These bursts of energy from the sun have been intensifying over the past 17 to 18 months, and the effects are starting to ripple out into our world. As solar activity escalates, so does its impact on our planet. The sun's rays are not just light and heat, they also unleash radiation and disturbances that affect Earth's magnetic field. This, in turn, has profound consequences on everything from the energy around us to the functioning of our very bodies. Though we know that solar flares are a natural part of the sun's cycle, the scale at which they're occurring now is different, and it's making waves across the entire solar system. But here's the thing. It's easy to get caught up in the science and lose sight of the bigger picture. Yes, these solar flares have real physical effects, but we also need to understand how they're influencing us on a deeper level. For those of us living on Earth, this event feels significant, unsettling even, but few of us know exactly why. We hear the word solar flare, and maybe we know it affects things like satellites or power grids, but how does it affect you? How does it impact your body, your mind, your daily life? We don't often take a step back to think about how profoundly intertwined we are with the forces of the universe, even the ones we don't directly see. This is where the discomfort starts to build. These are not just abstract ideas or distant scientific facts. The effects of solar flares are felt on a cellular, energetic level. We may not notice it right away, but the truth is that the intensification of solar activity is messing with our inner systems. For one, the sun's increased radiation is causing disruptions in the Earth's magnetic field, and that's something that affects us all in profound ways. The electromagnetic fields that influence our bodies, especially our autonomic nervous system, are being altered. Our physical well-being, emotions, and even mental states can be triggered or altered by changes in the environment, especially when they're as intense as solar flares. Now, before I go further, let me ask you, do you really understand how all of this works? I'm not just talking about the scientific explanations in your textbooks. Do you truly understand how our planet moves around the sun, how the sun's activity affects our day-to-day lives, and how the energy flowing from the sun influences your very being? Sure, you might remember from school that the Earth orbits the sun, that solar flares happen, and that they can interfere with communications or power grids. But do you understand it in a way that connects you to it personally? Do you feel it in your bones, in your energy, in your very breath? The reality is that most of us don't. Even the educated ones among us, the ones who seem to know it all, often just rely on second-hand knowledge. We read the textbooks, watch the documentaries, and trust what we're told by so-called experts. But how many of us are actually engaged in hands-on scientific research or discovery? True scientific inquiry, the kind that challenges assumptions and uncovers new knowledge, is rare. For most of us, science has become a belief system. We place our trust in books and authorities, accepting what they say without really questioning it. This is where the line between science and religion gets blurry. In religion, you follow what you're told, often without question. In science, the difference is that your beliefs can change over time as new discoveries are made. But the core principle is the same. You believe because you trust what others tell you. Now let's bring this back to the solar flares. These solar eruptions are not just a scientific phenomenon, they are a deeply human experience. Their effects don't only impact the satellites in space or the power lines on Earth. They reach inside us, influencing our autonomic nervous system, the system that controls all the processes in our bodies that we don't consciously think about, like our heartbeat, digestion, and stress responses. It's the same system that governs how we react to environmental stimuli, how we feel, when there's a sudden change in our surroundings, and when solar flares increase, they disrupt this system. It's subtle, yes, but it's real. The irritation, the discomfort, the unease that we sometimes feel might not just be about the situation we're in. It could be a direct result of solar activity. The way we experience our environment, and even how we relate to it, is shifting. If you're still with me, think about this. Have you ever noticed how planetary alignments capture our attention? You've probably heard of them, moments when the planets appear to line up in the sky. This doesn't happen every day, but it's not unusual either. And while it may seem like a cool event to observe from a distance, there's more to it than just stargazing. Planetary alignments, such as the one that will take place in mid-January between Venus and Saturn, are fascinating because they serve as reminders of how connected we are to the celestial movements. When Venus and Saturn appear to draw near each other in the sky, they seem to dance closer and closer. And then, as if part of a cosmic plan, they'll pull away. This is not just a spectacle for astronomy enthusiasts, it's a reflection of the rhythm of the universe, of the way all things in the cosmos are constantly in motion. The sky is alive, and it's constantly reminding us that we are a part of something far greater than ourselves. This planetary dance, the alignment of Venus and Saturn, is a mirror of the cycles we live through, both individually and as a species. In a way, these alignments represent a cosmic pulse that we are inherently tied to. It's not just about the planets, it's about the rhythm of the universe that beats through everything. And like the planets, we too are moving through cycles. These cycles govern not only the orbits of celestial bodies, but also the very essence of our lives. Here's something you might find fascinating. Did you know that it takes 1.8 lunar cycles to complete just 7 solar cycles? In other words, if you live a typical human lifespan, around 84 years, you will have experienced 7 complete solar cycles and 1.8 lunar cycles. This might sound like just a fun fact, but it's much more than that. It's a deeply profound truth about our connection to the Earth, the Sun, and the Moon. These cosmic cycles don't just affect the planets, they affect us, our birth, our growth, our aging, and our death. It's no accident that we live in harmony with these cycles and that they shape the rhythm of our lives. The relationship between our bodies and these celestial forces is not just metaphorical. When you're born, you're not just entering a world that exists outside of you. You are entering a world that is woven into your very being. The Earth, the Sun, and the Moon, they are a part of you. The material that forms your body, the energy that animates you, is composed of the same elements that make up the planet. You are, quite literally, a fragment of the Earth, temporarily manifesting as the person you are. And as you move through life, you carry the memory of the Earth inside of you, a silent connection that pulses through your bones, your cells, and your very thoughts. But here's the twist. As you live through these cycles of the Sun and Moon, something changes. After experiencing 7 full solar cycles and almost 2 lunar cycles, you begin to sever your connection to the Earth in a profound way. It's not that you stop being a part of the Earth, but something in you shifts. You transcend the cycles of birth and death, moving beyond the material world. The Earth, once the anchor of your existence, starts to feel like something more distant. Your bond to it is still there, but it becomes less immediate, less tangible. You become more than just a product of the Earth. You become something that moves with the rhythm of the cosmos itself. This shift is not just about time or aging, it's about transformation. The salt of the earth, often referenced in spiritual and philosophical contexts, is more than just a poetic metaphor. It's a deeply rooted truth about our existence. We are the earth in motion. But once you complete the full cycle of 7 solar cycles and 1.8 lunar cycles, you begin to step outside of that direct connection. It's as if you're given the opportunity to transcend the very forces that shape your physical existence. And in that transcendence, you find a deeper understanding of who you are and your place in the universe. This journey through life, through cycles, through the cosmic dance, is not just about surviving. It's about awakening to the greater truths that are always at play around us. The solar flares, the planetary alignments, and the passage of time. They're all part of the same intricate web that binds us to the Earth and to the stars. And in the end, it's this web that reveals the deeper meaning of our lives.